to be an independent body. But INEC cannot be independent. One of the closest person to the current INEC chairman is the APC chairman, Yewata.
So all these agencies are subordinate to the villa.
They are not even subordinate to the villa, they are subordinate to some. So, but people who know him said it's probably close to 90 years. That, we founded the party, the African National Congress. And we knew it a long time ago that there's no independence in INEC. We should remove the word independence, from it's an abuse of the word independence to claim that INEC is INEC, like every other agency, works for the government. They're the ones, the president appoints the chairman of INEC. You can't appoint your enemy to go and run election for you. Except, so the only time you will see that INEC would do free and fair election, try to be fair, is when there's overwhelming force from the populace that twist their hands, and there's no hiding place for them. And in some cases, it's also in addition to maybe international interests. And INEC will give you something close to, sometimes you just look left, right, and center and say, look, if we don't let this person win, we're not safe.
Let's talk about you as a person and your son that is close to the youth. And we saw what happened at the last election. There was a huge drop in the youth participation in 2019 to the 2023 election. And now, we know that Nigeria's youth population is enormous. Even with all of the data, the stats that we have, you can tell that we have a high number of youth. What do you think, many Nigerians feel about their discourse? Because recently you see that youth are disconnecting from election. And you, as someone who is close to the youth,
there are two things that I want to say about youth. One, when you say people are young, it's not a political party.
Okay.
It is a population segment. So the youths that we over talk about are also in the bad political parties. Okay. If you go and count the number of people that have been killed in Osun State, they are predominantly young people. Are you getting me? And they are serving the interest of their oppressors. I am not saying that everybody has been killed is involved in any kind. Some of them are victims of violence, stray bullets and all that. Some of them are just passerbys. Then the second aspect of the Nigerian youth population is what I consider to be lack of ambition to take over the reins of power. Anytime I look at the streets of Nigeria during political or non-political season, I see power on the streets. But the youths will never go near power. I think they've been conditioned to believe that. And you hear that when they speak, some of them, some educated ones, say, the ambition is to become special assistants.
Do you think that they are scared to hold on to this?
That's where ideology comes in. Okay. You see, you can be young and not be courageous. You can be young and not be ideological. You can be young and not be aware, enough of your political environment. So that's why when we throw the word youth around, we must understand that where the word youth means energy, positivity, and aggression, is where it is applied positively. Otherwise, it's just a demographic.
Still the Money Show on Sahara TV, and yes, we have the African Action Congress presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore, who's joined us on the show this morning. We're talking about Nigeria's polity, where we are now analyzing Nigeria at a crossroads. We take this quick breather, and when we're back, the show continues. Don't go anywhere.
All right.
Akahi News. Akahi News. Informing, connecting. Akahi News.
Morning show on Sahara TV, and we still have the AAC presidential candidate, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, talking to us about Nigeria at a crossroads. And now we will be looking at the 2027 elections that is coming. Looking at the INEC list, is there any individual or party on the INEC list that you would like to use moving forward in the 2027 elections?
The people we need to team up with, the people, right? Parties are vehicles for presenting candidates in the elections, and it is particularly difficult that Nigerian political parties are not set up in ways that we define them as parties in a long-term context. And contextually, parties strategy. That's why an average politician don't have political parties. Their main interest is how to impact. And they keep looking for parties that can present them that opportunity to present their paperwork. So
It's a paperwork.
It's a paperwork relationship. It's transactional. So it is only in our party that we ensure that people who are presented as candidates with education, they understand what we stand for. And I can tell you that that's also a struggle, even for an ideologically grounded party like us. Because just as I spoke about it earlier, a lot of people feel like, is that they're just looking at the deadline. And let me tell you something. INEC has a list of parties. And the candidates that are going to the party will go to INEC and say, please, which party can allow me to run for government? INEC will give them contact for these people that are not presented in government. I don't think they have a government. And they'll call you outright from nowhere and say, please, I need your platform as a what do you think our platform is? A supermarket? Or like a chicken republic where you can just go and stand in front and point to. We don't do that. We're not here presenting you a menu. What have you got to offer? What do you bring to the people that we say we represent or you want to represent? And most of them get upset and leave.
Okay.
And because they will ask you, the next thing they say, how much does it cost to buy your phone? That's what they tell parties. And any party that then presents the opportunity for them to do whatever they want without asking questions, you likely find more people there. And of course, the ruling party, because it presents them a better alternative for winning power and enriching themselves, they go there. So when parties have ideological leanings, and we process, it scares a lot of people who are interested in who wants to run for. They don't want to deal with you if you ask them questions.
All right.
They just want to ask. You just want you to say to them, this is our account number. Please put in the.
Now let's talk about you now. Going into the 2027 election, I think we have about 520 days now, and if elected president, I know that Nigerians have something that they are looking forward to, but I'd like you to give us your blueprints towards your immediate economic reaction, security blueprint to lift the millions of Nigerians out of what we are in now.
So the most important thing for Nigeria economically is not to be tabulating and calculating GDPs.
But that's what we're seeing.
That's what they do. These guys, it's for us to make the economy work. It's to be productive. And that's why I said, being productive, certain parameters must be set and met, of which you must get your energy right. Because if in this country today we have 24 hours electricity, not just 24 hours electricity, that is affordable.
Okay, that's another.
They will not be able to calculate your GDP anymore. It will just exponentially expand because everybody, small businesses, big businesses, will be rushing in. All this idea of looking for foreign investors. What do you think of foreign investors is about? They want to go into the country and make money. So you don't need to look for them. You don't even need to wait for them at the airport. You just discover that foreign investors, you now have to deal with how you regulate how the foreign investors come in and how much they can take out if they come in. Not that you'll be attending all these seminars. You know, if I'm president of Nigeria and you're a foreign investor, you want to come to my country, I won't even listen to you. I'll ask you to go to the embassy of your country, get a visa, tell us what you send your blueprint, you know, and that extends to other sectors. But that is how economies work. You know, and when you have enough, it will determine your microeconomic and macroeconomic policy, determine your monetary policy. You can't even have monetary and fiscal policies when you have no money. Yeah, it's just like a broke person who went and hired an accountant. They are accounting for.
I mean, according to the Department of the DMO, they said that our debt has also risen in the
It's not like they said that we are swimming in debt, but that's not the problem. And this might sound controversial. You know that America is the biggest debtor in the world. But the reason it doesn't affect them is that they don't pay.
They don't pay.
They don't, you know, they can borrow from you.
And they don't pay back.
They don't pay back.
Like they're like big brothers, right?
It's not like they are big brothers. That's how they're scamming the rest of the world. They're extorting the rest of the world because they control the international currency. So what most people don't know about the US is that their biggest export is not Boeing, it's the dollar.
Okay.
And the only time they'll kill you is when you say the dollar is no longer the international currency. Then that time you will know that America doesn't joke.
Right, because of our time now. Some persons in some quarters are saying that you have no experience. They are even asking you to start from maybe Ondo State, start ruling Ondo State, or even take it to the Senate. And what would be your response to these people who say that you have no experience?
What is the experience you're looking for? It's the question you should ask them. The experience these people are looking for is the mental conditioning that a person who dresses a certain way, stole and drives a car that he cannot afford, build a house that he can't live in, is the experienced person. Typically, the meaning of experience is who is the biggest thief, you know, who has been around long enough, stealing and not getting caught, or getting caught and getting out. That's what they call experience. When you're talking about, if I were to define experience and help you guys to define it, the experienced person is a person that you have experienced, either the ideologies or whose life has impacted you positively, and for the longest period of unbroken consistency. That's what experience is supposed to be defined as. And I say it that if I were to be in the military, if I joined the military when I started this in 1989, I would have retired as probably, you know, a general right now. And that time you call me experience.
Now let's talk about this.
But
now.
you know, it's just how limited people are in their thoughts. Nobody looks for experience of negativity. You look for, you know, better experience. If you're experiencing poverty, you want experience of prosperity. That's what you should be looking for in experience. Not the one that puts you permanently in a bind.
Over time, you've vehemently come out against the subsidy removal. I want you to talk to us now. If you eventually get here, what are the fundamentals things that you do that would differ from the current structure that we have?
So, when it comes to subsidy, it's not even like an economic policy that should bother, or any policy that should bother us. What subsidy does is, let me just break it down to you. You have 200 million people in your country. You look at them and they're struggling. You know, it's just like we all practice it in our family setting. When you get paid, who do you support the most? the person in your family who is most in need. That's what subsidy is about. So if you have a family, extended family system, and you get paid at the end of the month, you have already received all the text messages and WhatsApp messages and all those greetings, happy new month. You know where it is leading.
Yeah.
So you said, look, I know I have a cousin who's struggling. So you make allowance to support the person so that they don't die of starvation. That's what subsidy is about in our society. It's a must that if you have 200 million people and you have done your research or your statistics shows that 134 million of them are in multidimensional poverty, subsidy becomes how you keep them going so that they can become productive. Because you subsidize people up to a point, they also start subsidizing other people too. But when you cut off that lifeline, it's just like, it's this hot balloon, and you host people, and suddenly you take off the balloon. People crash to their deaths.
Okay, because of our time now, one last question for you. You are in the presidential race, the 2027. Like other candidates, you do have a manifesto. Walk us through your manifesto.
Most other candidates don't have manifestos.
Okay. Walk us through your manifesto and your plans and visions for Nigerians.
My easiest way to say since we don't have time is go to Google Play Store, go to iOS Play, App Store, download Sowore now. It's there. And I know that majority of you who are watching this can also read it.
You made it public.
It's public, I'm probably the only candidate in this election that has an app.
Okay.
Where you can get detailed information, including information about your polling unit. Let me tell you this. Most Nigerians don't know where their polling units are located. They don't know their wards. But this will help you navigate through that. Now you can volunteer for us. But most importantly, you can read the manifesto. You can respond to us. You can respond to others who are using the app. And you can support the campaign. That's the easiest way to describe it. Because if I start explaining manifesto to you now, we'll go past the time allotted to you and allotted to me.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time and for joining us on the show this morning. The morning show on Sarah TV. I will be speaking with the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC, talking to us about Nigeria's polity and Nigeria at a crossroad. Where do we go from here? And most especially, what should we look forward to in the 2027 general election? Don't forget, the gubernatorial election is happening tomorrow in Osun State. And then if you're one of those that is eligible to vote, it is advised that you also go out there and make sure that you make your vote count. That's how much we're taking on this segment of the show this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
People, and they say the economy and everything